Alright, so what do this and this have in common? Aside from two obscenely large men throwing each other around, there's more than meets the eye. See, believe it or not, this is directly influential in the creation of this. Now let me tell you why. Alright, so oftentimes pro wrestling is seen as fake. Obviously. But why does that statement often result in...
I think this is fake.
You think it's fake? What's that? Is that fake? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you?
That's because the statement itself isn't entirely wrong. However, it's not entirely right either. See, pro wrestling has a long history spanning centuries, and in the US specifically, going back to the Civil War. At that time, pro wrestling was just wrestling. Catch wrestling to be specific, and it was just a method of wrestling that incorporated the different forms of folk style combat and other methods of combat into itself. One famous practitioner would be Abraham Lincoln himself. He famously claims to have competed in 300 matches where he only lost once. But enough about US precedents. What I'm trying to say is that modern pro wrestling comes from a base of real wrestling. In the early days, these catch wrestlers would go from town to town, oftentimes part of a circus, and perform public competitive matches. However, what these competitive wrestlers over time realized was that shoot matches wouldn't deliver as much of an audience as work matches. As such, slowly but surely, more and more matches began to get worked as time went on. This, combined with the fact that work matches were much safer for wrestlers and allowed them to make appointments at other venues more consistently, led to works becoming a far more lucrative method to compete. So by the end of the 19th century, almost all professional matches were worked matches within the US. Fast forward to Japan. It's the 90s and we have just passed the Japanese wrestling golden age. Japanese pro wrestling was initially based on American wrestling, however incorporated far more focus on applying other martial arts in the form of mixed contact fighting. Basically, there was a larger emphasis on full contact hits, submission holds, and the showing of fighting spirit over the pure story and power-based wrestling of the US. All in all, it's 1993 and shoot matches in Japan are becoming more and more of a mainstay. These shoot-style matches in turn being influenced by the match between Antonio Inoki and Muhammad Ali. Now, Antonio Inoki was and is considered one of the most influential wrestlers of all time, and a huge enthusiast of in-ring work and the idea of reality in wrestling. So it only stood to reason that his students too were equally as fond of these concepts. This led to Masakatsu Funaki, Minoru Suzuki, Ken Shamrock, Takaku Fuke, and others from the shoot-style Fujiwara Gumi wrestling promotion leaving said promotion in order to pursue an even more shoot form of pro wrestling in 1993. This resulted in the creation of Pancrase, and, well, this is what it ended up looking like. Looks an awful lot more real than you would think of normal pro wrestling, right? Now, of course, this is not the first MMA promotion in history, however, it did come into existence before the current juggernaut that is the UFC, and had many overlapping fighters coming in and out of the promotions. Notably, the Shamrock Brothers and Bas Rutten.
Been a bouncer for many, many years. Bang, bang, bang.
So next time you start calling pro wrestling fake again, maybe consider the fact that pro wrestling is a lot closer to real fighting than you would think. That, and well, the stories are pretty fun, I guess. But on that note, like and subscribe for more. Hit that bell button thing, I guess. Peace.